Chase Elliott came off turn 4 with the lead. The finish line was right there. 11 years, 11 tries, no Daytona 500 win, and for about 3 seconds on February 15th, 2026, it looked like that was finally about to change. Then Tyler Reddick made one move. Elliott saw it. He had a choice. He chose not to block, and that decision cost him everything. Or did it? 41 cars, 200 laps, and by the time the white flag came out, 25 different drivers had already led this race. That is a new Daytona 500 record. Nobody could hold on to the front. This thing was wide open from start to finish. One of those drivers was 23-year-old Carson Hocevar. He had been one of the best cars all day. When the white flag dropped, Hocevar was leading, 1 lap away from one of the biggest upsets in Daytona 500 history. Then he spun right in turn 1. He took Eric Jones and Michael McDowell with him. Just like that, the top 3 cars were gone. And Chase Elliott, who had fought all afternoon to stay clean and stay close, suddenly inherited the lead with 1 lap left. This was his shot, his 11th shot at this race, and he had it right in his hands. But here's the thing about Daytona. Nobody wins it the easy way. Elliott cleared the turn 1 wreck clean and immediately linked up with Zane Smith in the number 38. The two of them pulled away down the backstretch. Smith pushed Elliott hard into turn 3. For a moment, it was just the two of them out front, separated from the whole field. But Elliott already had a bad feeling. He knew a 2-car breakaway at Daytona almost always gets caught. The bigger pack behind builds momentum together, and when that pack comes, it comes fast. He told reporters after the race, "I knew that probably wasn't going to be good. At some point, there was going to be a momentum shift." He was right, and that momentum shift had a name: Tyler Reddick. Stay with me here, because what Reddick did next is what makes this story so unbelievable. Here is what nobody expected. Reddick had barely been a factor all day. He had not led a single lap heading into the final moments. His teammate Bubba Wallace had led a race-high 39 laps and looked like the 23XI driver most likely to win. Then Wallace lost ground during a pit stop on lap 181 and faded back to 10th. Reddick stayed quiet, stayed patient, and with less than half a lap to go, he had a full head of steam, a push from teammate Riley Herbst in the number 35, and a clear lane developing at the bottom. Elliott came off turn 4 with the lead. Reddick was closing fast. Elliott moved up to cover him. 1 block. Good move. Reddick went low. Elliott could not follow him all the way to the bottom without putting himself straight into the inside wall. So he did not follow. And that is the exact moment the title of this video is talking about. Why did Chase Elliott refuse to throw a second block on Tyler Reddick? It wasn't fear. It was survival. Elliott was not being passive. He was not scared. He was doing math in real time at 200 miles per hour. He said after the race, "I just felt like Tyler was coming so quickly. I kind of blocked one direction and he went the other way. I feel like if I had tried to throw another one, I would have been spun out on the wall on the inside. At that point, nobody is lifting." Read that again. Nobody is lifting. At that speed, if Elliott throws a second block and Reddick is already committed to the bottom, Elliott slides down the track with nowhere to go. He does not just lose the race, he wrecks them both and ends his own day right there in the tri-oval. He put it even more directly when talking to other reporters. "If I had thrown a double block on the 45, it would have just crashed us." So Elliott picked the smarter play. 1 clean block. Hope for a push from someone behind. Hope Reddick runs out of room at the line. It was the right call. It was the smart call. And then Riley Herbst blew everything up anyway. Remember, Herbst had been right behind Reddick the whole time, pushing his 23XI teammate toward the front. That push is exactly what gave Reddick the speed to catch Elliott in the first place. But once Reddick cleared Elliott, Herbst still had nowhere to go. Brad Keselowski in the number 6 came flying up from behind with a massive run. Herbst's spotter, Tim Fedewa, screamed at him to move up high and block Keselowski. The timing was wrong. Herbst moved, but Keselowski was already going too fast. They made contact against the outside wall. Herbst bounced back down the track and drove straight into Elliott's right rear. Elliott went hard into the safer barrier. He said afterward, "I tried to avoid wrecking myself, and I got wrecked anyway." Keselowski was furious on the radio. He called it one of the dumbest things I have ever seen. He said Herbst had zero chance of stopping his run and just destroyed everyone around him. Fedora got on the radio and said, "Sorry, I was just trying to make something happen." That one line tells you everything about how chaotic the final 500 yards really were. And here is the cruel irony. Elliott refused to block Reddick because he did not want to wreck them both. He made the careful, smart choice. But it did not matter. He still ended up in the wall. Someone else made the reckless choice for him. Reddick crossed the line first, alone, clean, 0.308 seconds ahead of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in second. Joey Logano slid across the line third. Elliott, with his car torn apart, somehow limped home fourth. Keselowski was fifth. And despite starting the wreck, Herbst's momentum carried his destroyed machine across the line in 8th place. 23XI Racing put all three of its full-time cars inside the top 10. Their legal fight with NASCAR had just ended in a settlement days earlier. Now they were in victory lane with co-owner Michael Jordan. Jordan said it felt like winning a championship. Reddick, who had been winless all through 2025, said, "Last year was really hard for all of us. When you drive for Michael Jordan, it is expected you win every single year." He finally delivered. For Elliott, it was a completely different kind of moment. He said, "This really sucks, to come off turn 4 with the lead and not finish it off." That was his 11th Daytona 500. No win again. So let us answer the question one final time. Why did Chase Elliott refuse to block Tyler Reddick? Because he was right not to. A double block would have wrecked them both. He made the smart call at the right moment. He did not panic. He did not gamble. He played it clean. The problem was not the decision. The problem was what happened next. Herbst, Keselowski, a block that was too late, a bounce that was too hard, a wall that was right there. Elliott made the right choice and still walked away without the trophy. That is the cruelest part of this sport. You can get everything right and still lose. And for Chase Elliott, that lesson now runs 11 races deep. The win was right there. He did not throw it away. Someone else took it from him. So let us answer the question one final time. Why did Chase Elliott refuse to block Tyler Reddick? Because he was right not to. A double block would have wrecked them both. He made the smart call at the right moment. He did not panic. He did not gamble. He played it clean. He trusted the percentages. He trusted the physics. And at Daytona, that is usually the difference between finishing and flipping. The problem was not the decision. The problem was what happened next. Herbst, Keselowski, a block that was too late, a closing rate that was too high, a bounce that was too hard, a wall that was right there. In the final 500 yards, control disappeared. The air shifted. The pack exploded. Elliott made the right choice and still walked away without the trophy. That is the cruelest part of this sport. You can calculate everything perfectly and still lose to timing. You can protect your car and still get hit. And for Chase Elliott, that lesson now runs 11 races deep. The win was right there. He did not throw it away. He did not choke. He did not overreact. Someone else made the desperate move, and he paid the price for it.